Don't you ever get curious how some things work? Like how the human brain works? Or why we react to something so adorable by wanting to squeeze it? This topic is part of something we call psychology, a specific part of it.
You might be wondering, what is psychology?
It's the study of the mind and behavior. This also includes the conscious and unconscious phenomena, feelings, and thoughts. Have strong connections to medical, social, and science education. The study of psychology has been here since ancient Greek time. Although it might have been here for so long, the actual scientific study of psychology actually started somewhere in the late 1800s. Wilhelm Wundt created the first psychology lab in 1879. Psychologists, someone who studies or practices the normal and abnormal of the mental state, have studied various aspects of the human behavior. The following are personality, brain functions, and social cultural influence. As psychology progressed through time, we began to question ourselves why we do what we do from different angles, including some of the following: biological, psychodynamic, behavioral, cognitive, humanistic perspectives, just to name a few. Biological psychology. Biological psychology is the study of exploring the connections between the mental state, brain, nerves, and hormones to explore and understand how thoughts and moods are shaped. Meaning the way people think is usually depending on how the person's brain is built and the body's needs. This approach attempts to understand the healthy brain but as well examines to figure out how disorders are developed by the mind and body. Psychodynamic. Psychodynamic approach or theory was created by Sigmund Freud between 1890s through 1930s. This field of study is basically the study of how events in our childhood have great influence in our lives and can affect our adulthood, shaping our personality. These events that occur can stay in the unconscious, but can cause problems as adults.
The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water.
Behavior psychology. Behavioral psychology or behaviorism is a theory that suggests that environments can shape a human's behavior. In more basic sense, it's a study and analysis of observable behavior. This field is very influenced throughout the middle of the 20th century. It's still used in mental health professions today, as its concept remains relevant in the fields like psychotherapy and education. John B. Watson started behavioral psychology building off a Russian psychologist, Ivan Pavlov. He was famous for his experiment with a dog and how it reacts to certain foods.
Give me a dozen healthy infants, well-formed, and my own special world to bring them up in, and I'll guarantee to take any one at random and train him to become any type of specialist I might select. Doctor, lawyer, artist, merchant, chief, and yes, beggarman and thief.
Cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology is the study of mental processes such as attention, language use, memory, perception, problem solving, creativity, and reasoning. This originated in the 1960s. Researchers became more interested in the internal process that affect behavior instead of the behavior itself. Thus, in 1967, psychologist Ulrich Neisser introduced the term cognitive psychology. Cognitive helps us understand how people think and including how they obtain and store memories. Knowing more about how this process works, psychology can develop new ways of helping people with cognitive problems. Humanistic psychology. Humanistic psychology is a psychological perspective that emphasizes the study of a whole person. This psychology not only looks through the eyes of the person observing, but also the eyes of the person behaving. It is believed that an individual's behavior is connected to their inner feelings and self-image. Ultimately, the study of psychology has many branches and many ways to view things. It makes us question more on our human brain works and how we're different than other species and how it can help some types of ways to solve some problems. There's so much more to know and discover, but how far can we go with psychology?